this is a good segue, because you just went and we're talking about the fact that, as you're talking about alignment and making sure that, your family, and that is kind of, special, is the fact that you've been through this both on the family side and on the corporate side, where you've seen, how these transitions are supposed to go. You've talked about the control issues, and the control issues happen even in a corporate company, because you have to figure out who's going to be the leader, who is going to be making the decisions, and who may be the leadership part of that leadership team, and how do we get those people working together. Inside of a family business, sometimes that gets even more difficult. And you talked about the fact that you had lots of discussions around that. That's leads us right into developing that strong family governance piece, and how do we make decisions together, correct?
Yeah, we raised a lot of issues, and when there's 5 family members that are cousins, what rights do you have as an owner or cousin versus your position? And a lot of these things you can work through by going through the shareholder operator, going through these different issues and reaching concurrence, and that helps deal with the control issue, because you've kind of agreed to how you're going to operate on a lot of these sensitive issues. So we had decisions on tax distributions, on other distributions, on capital investments, how much authority would I have as CEO versus the board, debt, and all those kinds of things. So that really helped alleviate a lot of potential issues down the road. The governance was also dealt with at that time, and I insisted, and they all agreed, we'd have 3 outside directors, so it just wasn't family members, because it's hard to do it when it's just your family and so on. And so each family member got to, each family branch, there were 3 because one of them didn't have any heirs, got to select a director that all of us had to agree to. So okay. Kind of the combination that people got to kind of pick someone they were really comfortable with, but we all 3 wanted the family branches had to agree, all 5 of us had to agree that they'd be on the board. So that brought a whole level of professionalism, good manners at the boardroom, all the kinds of things that you need to have. And that was just so significant, and you probably would agree, Mike, that just the fact we'd had quarterly board meetings, just the fact that we had a board meeting and I and our team had to prepare for the board meeting. Here's what we said we're going to do. Here's our strategy. Here's our business plan. Here's our progress. Even if we never had a board meeting, a large percentage of the value was just forcing yourself to step away from the day-to-day operations and be ready for a board meeting. And of course, you had the board meeting. It was very valuable. And most of the discussions would come from the outside advisors and the directors. Actually, they're fiduciary directors, because we all saw each other all the time, so we all kind of pretty much knew how we all thought. So right. It was a good chance to get that outside perspective, which was really helpful.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that we would both agree upon, is having that outside board of directors or an advisory board, if it's informal, really makes a giant difference. And the way that you selected them was really smart. There's 3 of you, and so when you each got to select one, now you've got a board of 6 people, but yet everybody had to approve them. That's a really nice way to do that. So
we actually had 5. We had 5 owners on the board. My father. Yeah. And then the 3 outsiders. So we had a 9-person board, and my cousins insisted I report to the board, not my father. So that kind of, was also part of the plan.